Bro, I feel like I opened a fucking a fucking floodgates
You
and stuff
did.
started coming out. Like there was more coming in, and I'm like, fucking hell, what have I done? And stuff.
I want to talk a bit about last year. It was a big explosive team, right? Right away, huge roster, and
It was a bomb, yeah. In my opinion, it's hard when we didn't really have kind of like, I would say, adults in the team. It just felt like 5 kids playing together. Like this whole tier 2 is not even real. Like they still practice against tier 1 or whatever, more than tier 1 practices against tier 1, in my opinion. Worst teammates, Prophet, because he's probably watching this, and
have you been taking like photos for a long time?
2 years now, I'd say.
2 years, okay, yeah.
Maybe actually like 1.5 and stuff. But it depends. It's like periodic things. A lot of seasons, it's like I can't be asked, and then I have that like a couple weeks where I'm like, oh, I really want to take and go to places. So usually it's like a day events. It's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like otherwise I'm just chilling.
Yeah, because getting into photos like that's like expensive hobby as well too. Like, did you just yeah?
I didn't know it's that expensive until I got into it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I spent a lot. But it's nice because you can actually resell most of it too.
Yeah, especially when you like kind of cycle out of different lenses to it. It's nice to be able to like get stuff out. What actually inspired you to get into photo taking and like all that stuff?
Because I always kind of like taking photos on the phone and stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
I remember at like Fnatic, like all the media bullshit that we used to do, and like there's cameramen, and I would just come in and ask you, oh, can I try
Yeah.
holding it even for fun and stuff? And I'm like, oh, it's cool. Then I buy like a cheap Sony camera with like cheapish lens, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I'm like, but my photos fucking suck, and I don't want to look at them. And then I'm like, okay, how do I take photos and stuff? And I learned, and I'm like, okay, but I want to kind of like next step. Then I buy another camera, another lens, even though it's fucking overkill, and you probably don't even like at the start you think camera does a lot, but then you like later on you understand it's not really about the cameras and lenses. Uh, in my opinion, it's also about the style because a lot of older lenses or like older cameras, especially film ones, they have kind of like a specific look. But with digital, it's just like what maybe it's gonna look a bit sharper and stuff, but it's not gonna do that much really. And yeah, then I started looking into it more and wanted. Then I bought like this Sony A7 IV, and then I was like, okay, it's cool, and I got like really good deals on it too. Like I kind of saved money, but then I realized, oh, but it's like so big that I don't really want to take it out that much because it just feels awkward with a big ass camera, like walking around. And I started getting into smaller cameras, and I'm like, okay, this is what I like because people might just think, okay, this guy is a tourist. People are kind of like different locations, not security, but like people kind of like who control it. They're more fine if someone brings like a small camera. They don't even know like if it's powerful enough or not. But like when it's a big one, they're like, oh. Um, this is a bit sus in some countries, like oh, you need permits or people will come in and stuff. I just like the smaller ones because it's like small one you could fit into like a backpack or just hang around your neck, and it's not that big. I even have a camera I can just put it in my pocket or stuff and forget about it and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, uh, that's nice. Or just I don't know, going out somewhere during events, I just bring like one or two and then just walk around with them and just take some because I'm not looking for like I need every picture perfect, but if some picture like one out of I don't know hundreds I take hits, then why not?
Yeah, it's
And
not a
people are
bad
like,
thing.
oh, this is a nice photo, but people don't know I took fucking 300 more and they're all shit.
But and that's the thing, right? Nobody has to know how many times you press the clicker. Everybody just
Yeah.
has to see the one decent one where the clicker got it right. That's all that really matters, bro. And like, as you do it for, because like for example, it's like it's the same shit of when you of like posting like kind of clip highlights back in the day, right? No one has to
Yeah,
see like the fucking 10 shitty rank games and the 5 whiffs that happened, bro. But the
yeah,
one
exactly.
4K, that's going on Twitter right away. Like,
Yeah, that's all. I used to post like clips from my ranks. I'm going like for like I don't know 9 to 20, but that triple kill is going in.
that's
Yeah,
there, brother. And I bet you that one hits. But fucking one guy being like, "Yo, I was in the right game, bro. You were so shit." Like in the
yeah.
comments.
No, but it's always annoying when somebody posts that against you when you want them, they played like shit, and they post like one clip, and you're like, fucking hell. Kind of want to expose that guy.
Dude, Twitter drama is so funny because like none of it matters. Like at the end of the day, none of it matters realistically. Some of it does matter, where there's some consequences outside. We don't have to talk about your Twitter drama. It's okay. But what was interesting, dude, like, I mean, like, there was your shit, but then there was like a separate saga happening in your comments at the time.
But I feel like I opened a fucking like a fucking floodgates
You
and stuff
did.
started coming out. Like there was more coming in, and I'm like, fucking hell, what have I done and stuff.
Bro.
But it's fine. The most annoying thing is like after all this drama, like a few months later, I'm thinking like okay, I actually found so many impressions, and then I'm like, wait, since like 2 years ago, you can actually get money from impressions. I go into my account settings, like that payout thing, Twitter earnings. They were off, and I got so tilted. And I'm like, okay, uh, I just sacrificed mental and sacrificed uh,
Probably like
a lot
20
of
bucks, bro.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even get my $20, but it's fine because sometimes I can tweet about full nonsense and I get my $20 back, and that's it. And my payment to Twitter is kind of like profitable actually.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting 2 euros back. But it's I don't know. It's all shit and doesn't really matter at the end.
I was so I don't want to rehash it necessarily. What I was curious about is, do you regret it? Do you regret kind of just having to air all that out in public?
No.
Okay, interesting. Hmm.
But it's like I don't regret it, but also honestly, just watch on Twitter. So who cares? Like I don't think anybody at this point really cares. I'm not like for me especially. I feel like since I aired out, even though on like public, it might not be good, but for me it's like if I just let it out, it's easier for me and kind of like weights over the shoulder kind of thing. And later down, I can think, oh, maybe I was stupid or maybe not. But for me, it was kind of easier. Of course, I won't know the choice of staying away from it, how it will feel. But I'm not really caring about it. It's more like. I mean, a lot of people joke about it nowadays, and I'm just running with a joke, and it's like a bit more fun sometimes. But yeah,
Yeah, it is funny because to be fair, you are notoriously a shit talker. Like I remember like a lot of your early Twitter days too, like especially coming up in 21, 22. Like you were in everybody's replies, bro. Like I remember famously when you beat Sentinels, right? When you were in the replies right away. I think like where they called EMEA a zero team region. And then when you beat them, you call them a zero budget team, which was
yeah, because they were like, I remember it was some weird moment that they didn't have money or something, and they were
yeah.
kind of like public about it. But I don't know if it was because we won or because we lost or something, and I got mad too. But I was like, fuck it. Saying it was funny.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. You're so funny on Twitter. Like, like your reply game is so peak, and there's so much shit that I remember. So I was gonna talk about this way later on, but uh, there was like a bunch of tweets that I dug up of like you just talking so much shit. Like there was one time, like somebody was making fun of a fan of yours who had your
Oh yeah.
profile picture.
Do you know what's the funniest thing? This fan is mad about me now. While he's having fucking a picture of my face as his profile picture.
Like, oh man, it was just so good. So I actually that was gonna be one of my requests for you is like, bro, please hop back on and talk more. Like you were too funny to not be on Twitter more, bro. Like it makes just timelines way more interesting for me at least, just to see you
Yeah, but I
talk
need
shit.
to be careful now. You need to understand. The thing is, a lot of things I say now, I need to be careful because I'm like wanting from like a rights perspective what might happen. Then I'm like, I don't want to throw vitality anymore. You know. Then it's like a lot of things. I'm just thinking like, I see a tweet, for example,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I had the funniest joke, but it will probably it will probably not be funny to a lot of people, and a lot of people will get mad. But for those who it will be funny for, will fucking laugh forever and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like I can send it, but I don't want to go sleep with people being mad at me over nothing. And it's just jokes, anyways. Like I'm also doing it in a uh, like humor perspective and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to flame somebody or I don't know self flame for a joke, but a lot of people can like don't like it. Then there's certain topics you don't want to go to. Then there's things that can that you think are like okay, here's like a no go, whatever you know,
Mhm.
and you kind of have to sometimes think. And I know a lot of these jokes. I'm scared because I also know with the fan base I have, a lot of people will not understand the joke, kind of like that I'm
Mhm.
joking. They will think I'm serious, and they will actually like. Start a war over nothing. I had already like when I tweeted or joked about somebody or like a friend, me and a friend will be bantering on Twitter, and my fans
Mhm.
will actually go into his DMs and just molding at him or like sending him really bad stuff. And I'm like,
Mhm.
but I'm just joking with like my friend or my former teammate, and you guys are hopping onto it and
Yeah.
stuff, not understanding. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like nothing is that serious on Twitter. That's why, like on Twitter, I'm trying to joke more with my friends and stuff because I know if it's someone random who might not get the joke and stuff or gets it, but my fans will be like, "Oh yeah, let's send him more and stuff."
Mhm.
Not really a fan of that because I cannot really control it, and I never knew about it until people told me, and I'm like, okay, that's not funny, and I think that's like my whole thing with like having more followers because before when I had like 10k 50k 70k it was like funny and stuff and I was like having a laugh pretty much all the time. Now that I have like 250k or like on Twitch sometimes I'm streaming and I have like more than 500 and stuff. I understood that the more people you have, the more like you will have always good people, but you will always have like people with bad intentions and stuff, and you cannot
Mhm.
control them, especially with the more followers you have, and that's like kind of aspect I'm scared of, and I even see it on myself when I'm like I like streaming like full random games. For example, I can
Mhm.
stream horrors, I can stream random games, and not only Valorant. Okay, if I stream random games, I might get like 50 to 100 viewers.
Mhm.
If I stream Valorant, I can go all the way from 200 to 1000, sometimes 2000,
Yeah.
uncontrollable. But I noticed the more viewers I have, the more my chat becomes kind of like sometimes not fun to read. And that's where I understood kind of like uh, I'd rather have small amount of people kind of
Mhm.
like being that circle that oh you can have fun joke around than 2,000 people where it's like you get the same type of questions every 2 seconds, or people just getting mad at each other over nothing, and it kind of gets boring. And that's why for me sometimes it's really exhausting, because just the sheer amount of kind of like people following, and it's like you can't control. Obviously there are communities that are more strict, and like let's say
Like Sliggies, like
yeah, but like for example, I'm a pro player. People know me just for playing the game. But for example, Sliggy, even though he was a coach, he started streaming and analyzing the games. He has like that streamer personality, I'd say, or kind of like community. So people like him, moderators and stuff, have certain rules, certain boundaries, and when they stream for a long time, it's easy to cut off people that are not following that and stuff. But when I stream once a year, two times a year, and it gets really uncontrollable, I don't even know my mods anymore. I'm like, viewers that I have never seen before and stuff. I kind of get that. It's harder to control than if you will stream every day. You will have the same set of moderators coming in, kind of like controlling it, same viewers and stuff. But then it's easy to keep up. But in my case, it's just hard, and that's why it's sometimes not fun. And honestly, I'd prefer my player career more than a streamer, and that's why I just don't stream that much, because I don't have the energy.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because look, because like you said, influence is a very scary thing when you hold it. Like, because like it's hard when you get so up in popularity, especially when you play on popular teams as well too. Like, it's just like your fans can vary in a lot of different like age ranges, bases, countries, and humor forms. Like where it's like how like British humor to American humor to like even like Eastern European humor is just it's so different. And reading and translating humor over the internet is a skill, or even like sarcasm is so hard because you're reading letters. If you can read it in somebody's voice, it just doesn't hit the same, right? It's hard, bro. And then like even with you, you know, like sometimes because you're a very sarcastic guy, like
that's why I stopped being that on Twitter.
It's hard because look, I know that, right? But then the issue is sometimes that your fans who are like sometimes like 16, right? Don't really know you, have only really seen you play the game, might pop in your Twitch chat, might see you flame somebody, make a joke, and think, "Oh, Derke is toxic. Derke is this." It's like, no, man, he's just fucking around, right? And you all right. It's like it is weird sometimes when like certain communities kind of pop in and like what they kind of do and what they interact with. It does suck because like for example, like just early this morning, I was watching Kayak stream for a bit, right? And you know, it's similar to you where it's like, you know, it's like and I see this in a lot of like specifically duelist players like chats like him, just seconds, right? Everyone comes in and like just spams settings, mouse controls, crosshair. Do you warm up? Do you use Kovacs? How do you like Yoru? It's just and it's just a rotating thing of just those questions over and over again for 5 hours.
In three languages for me.
Yeah,
I can answer it in Russian. So then Finnish guy comes in, asks me the same thing. I answer him. Then some other guy from UK comes in, asks the same question.
Yeah, hey, bro,
I answer
like
that. Then
it's like
and then it's like I answer it 3 times. And then when it comes to questions, I get asked like multiple times during this stream and stuff. The same thing, or like the news just dropped and I reacted to it already. People come in asking in 3 different languages, and I'm like, guys, I said it already. Then I say it in different language that I said it already, and it just gets really boring. And I know I could just said like, oh guys, I'm only speaking one language now on stream, but I don't like that. I like speaking to my people and stuff, you know. But yeah, and about the jokes on Twitter, that's the thing too. Like sarcasm, people can't really get, especially if they don't know you. They will never get that, and that's why it is really hard to joke and stuff, especially for me, because that's for me kind of like the humor. And yes, every part of the world has kind of like the really different humor. That's why it gets really harder, because sometimes I'm like, these people won't get it, you know.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because like I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up in
Like
India, but then I came to North America. What's up? Yeah,
the only thing that's universal
yeah.
is the dad jokes.
Oh, yeah, like just stupid
And
puns. Yeah.
yes, and that's why every time I throw a dad joke, and then comes dad comes in and likes it, or replies, I'm like, it fucking hit.
That's your like baseline of like, all right, dude,
Yes,
I made it. Yeah. You know what? That's valid. It's like, I mean, I have some things like that where, like, for example, like whenever I stream, I stream to like 20, 10 people, right? It's like, now I'm lucky enough that, like my community has like similar sense of humor. We all say like stupid bullshit, right? So it's like, I know that I've cultivated a good amount of people when things that they say make me laugh. And when people I see are funny, then okay, cool. That means that like like we're doing okay over here. But yeah, humor's weird, man. Humor's different and it varies so heavily. I find like your sense of humor is probably like really influenced by like your Finnish upbringing, right? Like coming up in like Helsinki and so on, right? Because like was your dad as funny as you are, or was he like super dry, super strict, like just kind of to the point type of guy?
I mean I'd say dry. I think most of it becomes one because like my parents are like Russian.
Yeah.
So at home I speak Russian. Then in Finland, like in schools, since kindergarten and stuff, like with friends, I spoke Finnish.
Yeah.
So I had that kind of a change already.
Mm-hmm.
Then growing up, I played random games mostly in Russian because it's just more popular and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, like CS Source, if it will be like we have this thing called sauna server, which is just like it will be probably like 20 versus 20 people, and just
Yeah.
like a server, which is like a massive sauna, and you just play like a CS:GO plant this bomb in sauna and stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I'll play in Finnish server because nobody else plays a sauna server, and it's like a Finnish thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Then every other game I will speak Russian. And in CS, like CS:GO, when I was competing, I was playing most with Russians. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
playing with Finnish that much. And like seventh or eighth grade, when in phase they introduced like these pro hubs, I started playing the
Mm-hmm.
Finnish one because I thought, like, I mean, at first I started playing Russian one, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, like a bit too hard, too many players, and it's like hard because people are trolling, and I felt a bit kind of like out of place because in Russia it's like a big thing that you have like PC cafes and stuff that
Mm-hmm.
can like they host their own tournaments. And let's say I think there was things like if a PC cafe has a chain in different cities, they host a tournament, and then like the main tournament will be in one city, and they will bring the winners of other cities back in. And I fell out of place because in that league, even though people weren't like pro players, but people still group up and kind of play those things, I could not. Then I'm like, okay, the Finnish league open, and I played that absolutely smashed it. Got a monitor and stuff, got invited to like pro league, and
Mm-hmm.
then started playing more in Finnish with Finnish teammates, and started getting into Finnish teams. And I kind of like, okay, this is it, getting into Finnish lands, and that's kind of like where I started my career essentially. And that's why it became more fun. And I think uh, just me playing games in different cultures and stuff can like impact on my humor. Of course, the more time you spend with people, the more you take it. And imagine when I had like a lot of Russian teammates, a lot of Finnish teammates. Now in Valorant, I have a lot of kind of like from anywhere around the world and stuff. So you can like progresses from that mainly. And then I'm also a troll, uh, like just making people mad or whatever too. It's kind of
Yeah.
like why not?
You are a S tier rage baiter. Yeah, I've seen that firsthand. Yeah, dude, you're really good at it. But I similar to you because I played CS:GO like a lot, like especially in back in computer class. But then I remember like instead of Sauna server, we used to play on pool day. I think it was the map, right? Yeah, like it was the And like, that was like when the whole class hopped on. Like it was, and I remember learning my first ever Russian curses in CS. That was great, dude. It was
Yeah.
dude, being able to go around at 14 sing suka bliet. Oh, that was the best. I don't know what it
Yeah.
meant, but I was
I
down.
could not say that. There was my mom outside of the kitchen, so it will be better. So it will be better if I will just swear in Finnish then.
So funny. So you had to control yourself while playing online because your mom was right behind you. She was just that way she couldn't hear.
Yeah, if I'm playing the Russian server. The worst thing when I had speakers and I was like, guys, don't swear, I have speakers, and I didn't know. It's a bit universal thing, but I didn't know everyone would start swearing.
Dude, it's the classic thing, right? Because when you go from there and then like when you eventually play, because I ended up playing Call of Duty as well, right? Because in North America, the
Yeah.
consoles are a huge culture here, right? Instead of PC stuff, right? And it's like when you hop in, like like a Black Ops lobby, being like, "Hey guys, my first time here, right? I'm excited to play the game." Done. You're done. It's just 30 people cussing you out, saying the worst things possible, and you're like, again, you're so young. You're like, man, I just want to play an FPS, bro. It's
Then you grow up and you do it to other people.
you become the guy cussing them out, man. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful cycle, really. It's just like,
it's amazing. It's a gaming cycle.
yeah, it's I
You
love
have to
that,
be
man.
part of it.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember you mentioning that like your brother was a big reason why you ended up playing games, right? Was your brother also
Yeah.
part of that cycle where he taught, where he swore at you, and then you guys started playing games together as well too, or was it more just him introducing you to playing games and sharing the PCs throughout
Uh,
the years?
I mean, sharing the PCs was the big thing. Also, he was showing me like
Yeah.
random games and stuff. Then uh, it was really weird because the games I like versus the games he likes are definitely a different,
Mhm.
whole different thing. I used to play like I have 3.5k hours in Arma 3, for example. Then I have a lot
Jesus.
of hours in Gmod.
Hmm.
I like those kind of simulators, sandbox that you can play, and I played a lot of like that. And he just likes like I don't know Rainbow Six Siege or him going to like I don't know Euro Truck Simulator or him playing some random games with his
Yeah.
friends, and I will be. I went from like sandboxes to competitive games, back to sandboxes to competitive games,
Hmm.
and I really like that. Like if I will play DayZ or something, he will play something else, and for me, it's kind of like that's why I like those games because that is kind of like that competitive standpoint, and you can actually get adrenaline and
Hmm.
stuff. So yeah,
So were you like a Minecraft kid growing up then, or no?
yeah, I liked Minecraft a lot, and I played
Mm.
a lot. It's just now Sundays, it's just the same thing. I can go with friends, and I will be like, "Okay, you guys build stuff," and I go mining because I like mining. I don't like building, for example. And then I come back in with
It's
like
half the game,
a
bro.
lot of stuff. Yeah, but like for me, it's like the most fun. I don't care about building. If I can complete a full run, I don't know, even mods. I'm not building like a gorgeous house. I'm building a cave for myself, all the things that's needed, and that's it. Why do I need that? The server is gonna blow up and delete itself like in 2 weeks, anyways.
That's so fucking funny. You're just in your like shack, like just
Yeah.
and everyone's like building skyscrapers, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna be here, like just doing my thing. And so, I mean, I'm a similar way where like whenever I play battle royales, the most fun part for me is looting. I don't give a shit about winning the game. I just want to find the best loot. Like I want to be kitted out, and then if I die, I die. But it's just that's the most fun
Yeah.
part for me. It's just finding
I mean,
chests.
for me in battle royales, it was like, oh, I hear gunshots, let's go there. Like for me, that's the
Dude,
that was the biggest thing. And then sometimes friends will be like, oh, you wanna play together, and they're like, oh, gunshots near us, we should go away. And I'm like, nah.
you want to fight?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, dude. I run. I rat. I remember how I got my first ever win in a battle royale, in which was in Fortnite too. I was playing solo squads, and I hid inside a truck the entire game. I got lucky that the circle ended right on me. and I ended up being a 1v1. I hopped out the truck, I shotgunned the guy in the face, and it was like, number one kill, 0 deaths, 30-minute game. It was the fucking best. Did I feel proud of
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I did. But should I won the game? Fuck no. Never. But it's how it is, man. I love that shit. but I mean, aside from your overall aspirations, naturally, of like how you kind of came into things, right? I mean, it's what I wanted to get into naturally while we're here, right? Because look, people have been wondering, Derke. You know, people have had a lot of questions. People have had their eyes on you a lot, right? And I think like there's before we get into this year, I want to talk a bit about last year, right? It was a big explosive team, right? Right away, huge roster. Not in the most positive sense. Sorry, my bad choice of wording. I apologize about that. Right? It was a team with a lot of investment into it, right? A lot of big names and a lot of eyes on it, right?
It
And
was a bomb, yeah.
it was a pop for sure. But I think what came into it mainly with that team was expectations, right? Where you and Les were huge signings, safe coming into the IGL role, right? It was a lot of changes, and people were like, okay, you know what? This could be the team that makes EMEA massive. It puts them back on the map again. That's not just like Fnatic or Heretics, right? So people had a lot of expectations. I imagine you noticed those, and I imagine the beginning of the year, right? Things go off, things go off really well, and then suddenly things going are not going as well as are not going as well anymore. Sorry. Talk to me
Yeah.
about that. Just that downturn that unfortunately happened. Because I imagine it
Uh,
had to do with a lot of things.
have you watched The Bear?
I've watched a bit of the bear. Yeah.
Yeah. So our team sometimes became like a stressful kitchen, so it was a bit hard to manage, and we could not serve out the dishes as well as at the start of the year, especially with like amount of requests we got, especially after our like good runs. I don't know. For me, it's kind of um, like of course after the fall Fnatic thing, negotiating with other teams and seeing what I can get, I knew kind of like going into this roster it will be one um, not really predictable, risky, but also it
Mhm.
could become really good. For me, the main thing was like, and the biggest part for me, like going to anywhere, was I think can I stay there long term? And what I mean by that is like, uh, do I like the organization as much? Do I can I see myself playing there a long time? Because I like staying in the teams for years,
Mhm.
as much as possible. I don't like going from team A to B to C in like a span of 3 years or something, or even two. Don't like that really. And yeah, for me, it was like, where could I potentially see myself staying the longest and also have a good team? And I think Vitality was one of them. And yeah, for example, even Save influenced it because I knew him a long time and still
Mhm.
sometimes stay in touch with him. Then, like, just speaking with the management and stuff, I was like, okay, I think this is it. And just knowing their history with the other games, I was like, okay, like, I want this. I knew it could be risky. I knew it could not even start well. I knew it could end badly and stuff. So for me, it was just like going through it. I think I learned a lot to just work with different kinds of people,
Mhm.
and I learned a lot how to kind of like manage myself more now, like in stressful situation in the team, or just kind of like when things are not going that well, or how to actually articulate myself better, or just kind of like speak with the team on like important topics. Because one thing is like you can have all these in your mind. You can maybe say the right thing, but if you word it badly, it's not going to go well at all. And it's like I had to learn these kind of things. And when you actually look at it, I think in my opinion, it's hard when we didn't really have kind of like I will say, adults in the team. It just felt like 5 kids playing together, and it's not really a fun moment, especially for me, kind of like because I'm in state of growing up, still living alone, and kind of like doing these things, understanding that a lot of responsibilities are on me and not on different people. I also have to think kind of like um, how to act like that in a team, and I feel like everyone in that team. I mean, I'll take the most blame too. Could have done that better, kind of like speaking up about things in a better way and stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
just even being nicer to each other at some points. And yeah, and then we started kind of like falling, and I think we just didn't. I don't know how to say it.
Like we're able to
We didn't
recover it
really
all.
respond to that well. Yeah, or
Okay.
recover. Thing is, even towards the end, like our practices, how we played in practice versus how we played in kind of like officials was two different things. And I know like every team says this, but for me, it was like a really long time since I felt that, because in Fnatic it was like the almost the same, and in Vitality it was kind of like we were crumbling towards officials. We could lose like an important round, and it was crumbling, and I'm like, it's hard to get people up in that sense if they don't know how to manage that themselves, and maybe I didn't too.
Mm-hmm.
And in these things, it just becomes a hard job, and that's why I think experience matters a lot. And I'm really glad I kind of had that experience now that year, even though it sucked not going to like 2 lands or whatever. But for me, like just the experience of being that moment when things are crumbling, not going your way, and stressful, is
Mm-hmm.
also a good thing. And I think a lot of players in that team will value that uh, in their careers moving forward. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I learn a lot. I feel like Les probably learned a lot and can kind of like uh, apply these things in the future teams, as well as I could maybe the other players too. I mean, Safe is not playing anymore. It's kind of hard, and uh, I feel like we all learned a lot, because a lot of things were still in hindsight. It's like a lot of our talks after the matches or something, or even after tough losses when we're out, will be like, "Oh, we should have done this," actually, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, that's a good point, but nothing we can do anymore with it." So it's like a lot of learnings, and for me, it's like it's tough, but also glad to have it, because I feel like it's hard for a player who used to kind of like be on top teams, or kind of like do well but not bad,
Yeah.
to kind of like process that. Because like, let's say in Fnatic, if you go to international events here and there, we're winning, maybe losing at like later stages, playoffs and stuff, but it's like whatever. You might still think, oh, but we did better than some EMEA teams, and I feel like then you put like a blind eye into some things, and you don't think about them as much. But when you're in a position where everything is going to shit, you kind of like, and you haven't been in that position ever, you can like learn a lot. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's one thing that unfortunately I wish every player has to feel at some point, just to learn and grow, kind of like as
Mm-hmm.
players and persons, how to actually act in these things. And that's why I value experience, and that's why I value like players who played a long time in
Mm-hmm.
like Valorant and have a lot of experience, whether they like had really bad seasons or good
Yeah.
ones. I think everyone just has to have that, and
Yeah.
probably a lot of players who were at the top, like in situation like mine, and didn't feel that. Eventually, they will, and then, in my opinion, it will become harder if you were at the top first and then you fall. How you actually gonna recover from that? Whether if you're having first seasons, it's kind of like mediocre, bad, mid, you learn that and then grow to the top. In my opinion, it might be a bit easier, but again, I'm not gonna judge anybody's journey and stuff. Everyone has a different one. Again, it's like the experience and how people recover from that. Because for me, it was like a bit hard and just processing it, because it's like I had a lot of things in my mind, but I don't even know what's right. And one thing I liked about Vitality, even like when I was messaging Neo, kind of like RCO basically and stuff, and he will
Mhm.
connect me. It's like, oh, you want to talk to this guy from CS, for example, with like assistant coach and stuff, and then I sit down and talk about some things, and kind of like I get kind of like more insight, and I get more insight how people maybe with experience used to act in my stage and stuff, and then that insight I could actually apply later on and just think, okay, like I'm not the first one, I'm not the last one in kind of like this situation, and this is just how I need to act, or I just need to deal with it and have the process done, like I cannot really delay it. And for me, I think it's a good experience, because
Yeah.
let's say if I play more years and can like uh have a longer career, if I will ever have kind of like that turbulent situation again, or uh have players that have never been through that before, and kind of like and I've been in that situation, I could help. Or maybe later on, if I will see players from the other team struggle and stuff that I know or kind of like friends with, I can maybe advise them too.
Mhm.
And I don't think there's many players in Valorant like that, because it is really a hard thing. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
people on Twitter laugh like, haha, washed, fucking dog shit, fucking lol left, and now losing everything. It's kind of like you guys are funny at the moment, but like as a player, it's not fun. Not because of your comments, but just because of how it feels like. And people don't understand that, and kind of like you can't really be at the top for that long, because it's a catch-up game, and a lot of people catch up, and people who actually learn from tough moments
Mhm.
the best, and that usually
Yeah.
comes from good coaching staff, from good support system within the organization, or just even organization having experience, or some of the players having experience and
Mhm.
guiding through that. That's where people kind of like skip steps and kind of
Yeah.
like become better, because if you don't know that, you're gonna stay at the same level, and if it's gonna blow up, it's not gonna feel fun, and everything is gonna feel terrible, and you're gonna search or think there's problems in positions that there weren't problems actually. So for me, it's kind of like a valuable experience, and kind of like, even though it was bad and meaningful, and you can think about like, oh, what's this shit here? Nobody's gonna remember that year in a couple years anyways, or I don't care about it anyways. Like, I'm laughing, whatever. I want kickoff. A lot of teams did not win a kickoff, so I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. Look, again, like you guys came through and dominated like an absolute blaze of glory, and then also went down like a blaze as well too. Actually, which was
Yeah,
tough. A real big high and low, right? An incredible roller coaster, to be fair, right? Something that you don't necessarily see a lot either. You raised a couple of things in that answer, which I thought were really interesting that I want to kind of move through. Number one, I want to understand as well, because like you said about how you, because like there are a lot of contributing factors, right, that kind of led to the overall like just the ending of where the roster kind of ended off, right? Other instances, or perhaps just like attributes that you can think about that kind of led to the end, or was it just an amalgamation of just everything all at once, right? Between communication, people not speaking their mind, and just the mental just kind of waning away throughout as the games went on.
it was kind of different all the time. I do think like some could have done better at communicating. I think it was mostly like lack of
Like trust in one
uh
another, like there's belief in the team and just yourselves, or
not that even I will say compromise and stuff. A lot of things is
okay,
like
interesting.
uh, it's like you know this thing. Oh, we need to be on the same page. We
Yeah,
lost the
yeah,
game. We
yeah.
weren't on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like with a team. If you don't know where you're going to and what you want to do, it's hard. And for example, a lot of players, and especially kind of like players who don't have much experience,
Mm-hmm.
especially in VCT, and this is even my probably message to a lot of tier 2 players who are coming up into tier 1 or get a shot at tier 1. don't lie to yourself, because a lot of players can say a lot of things and be like, I want this, we want to be here, our goal is this. But if you're not doing your job, like, you're not lying to your teammates, you know, it's gonna end up really badly and stuff, and then it's still your career, because um, like, one thing that's really important is like, if your team loses and you drop out of everything, nobody's gonna point fingers whose problem it was. It will be everyone's problem, kind of. And the thing is, everyone's gonna probably split up somehow and stuff. And uh, it's like, what's your value gonna be if you were just
Yeah.
trolling around, And I feel like a lot of players, not necessarily in our teams, I know, like, from experience from other teams or in CS, or kind of like from experience of just talking to friends and stuff who were in teams. A lot of people come into tier one and are like, they kind of start chilling, or they're starting to focus on other things. But uh, you also see that side on Twitter where people complain, if you have only 10, 12 games, well, exactly, if you don't troll them, or you don't waste that chance, then you get to play more of those games every year. And in my opinion, it's really sad, because I see this a lot in a lot of teams, not only in this game, but like in some games too. A lot of players come up and kind of like, I won't say waste that slot, but kind of that. It's like, if you take it for granted sometimes, and this, for example, what Boaster will say, you never know when's your last final, when's your final match. Don't take it for granted. Anything could happen, maybe, I don't know, game closes or something, or uh, yeah, anything can happen. Don't take it for granted. And that's like one thing too for many players. Like, a lot, like, once you come to the top with VCT, whatever, a lot of players want to be in your shoes. And the thing is, you probably have like, what, we have like 10, 11, 12 teams. Like, this is how many slots in Europe, and stuff in this league. If you're trolling, like, somebody else will want to take that and stuff. And I think if you take it for granted, it's kind of hard, because if you drop down, it's going to be even harder to come back up, because everyone's going to be having that perception, or looking at your games and being like, okay, but this is how it went, or like, this was his stint. What happened there? Can we really trust him? Should we ask for a reference? And this thing with references too, I can't lie. I don't really like it, this thing where people ask for a reference, because it's really who you're asking. Like, a lot of people can say different things, and also heard where a lot of people will basically not want to give a chance to some because of a reference. For me, it's like, I don't wanna have really kind of grudges on anybody and stuff. I think everyone, if they're good, deserves another chance and stuff at things, and kind of like play the game, especially if they're like really good at the game. Because I know a lot of situations where people were kind of like dickheads at their teammates, and then they fall down, play a year maybe, or like half a season, or they just understand it wasn't good, and then they come back off with a better mindset, with a better mental, and they're actually a lot better, and they learned from that. It's like, a lot of people do change, but you also need to give that feedback and kind of like understand it. And a lot of people don't even listen to that feedback, because amount of players I've heard got told, hey, you should focus on this, or you should do this, and they think like, oh, whatever, I don't care. And then they don't change, and people are like, yeah, but this guy never changed, why should we pick him up? Like, that kind of thing is just sad. And I think a lot of people can have those perceptions. I think there's good things and bad things about everything. And with the franchising this bubble of VCT, there's not that many players, not that many slots. This season is not that long, so it's like, you really want to be the best player and the best person you, you want to be
Yeah.
to stay there longer, and it doesn't mean that you need to put a mask on and act like you're a different person, because uh, if you go in and you're like quiet, chill guy, and then 2-3 weeks later you're like a monster, that is a different thing, you know. I'd rather someone come up and be just like emotional but controlled, you know,
Yeah.
like
Like who they are, like from up front, just before
yeah,
anything
I
else.
don't
Yeah.
want people to lie to themselves and stuff. I don't want people to either be controlled and stuff. Of course, there's certain boundaries, certain things that people kind of need to sometimes think about again. But uh, if you come in and you put a mask on, at some point that mask goes off, and it's going to be infinitely harder for every to play. And sometimes I might think, oh, this didn't feel like the player I had this a lot in, like, because about the teams I learned a lot in CS when I was
Yeah.
trying with like Russian players and Finnish teams and stuff, like that's coming up, and then just the experiences, the things I've been told, because sometimes uh, I had this a lot where sometimes I play with somebody, or like I think this is a good guy, you know, this is a good
Yeah.
guy. Then
Great guy.
a year later I hear like, oh, this guy is a monster. I'm like, what happened to you? I don't believe you. This happens a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and this happened to me a lot, like again in different places. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like mainly just be true to yourself and stuff. That's why I
Mhm.
like in CS, I like, for example, Apex and stuff, because he's emotional guy.
Mhm.
Uh, he can throw middle fingers on stage and stuff. He thrives from it, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna hide it. And I feel like it adds to him and gives him
Mhm.
confidence just to be himself, kind of, you know. And if you have teammates like that, it's just easier to be like, oh, you know, this guy's true to himself. It's easier to play. But yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like maybe every player had once in their career where they're like, oh, this is a really cool player. How he acts like on Twitter and stuff, but how he acts in real life is
Yeah.
a bit different. Those
So different.
things can be, and I think this is just a life lesson in general. Just be
Yeah.
yourself and stuff.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't even apply to the team. It's like if you're lying to yourself, you're basically a fake friend. You can talk shit about. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like these things. It's really small. It's really childish. But we're all children playing the game. That's why we don't know these things, and that's why when it comes up, we're like looking like idiots. You know,
Yeah.
but
Just arguing on Twitter, saying some bullshit,
yeah,
bro. Just
we're
going back and
learning.
forth. Happens, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like, because I know I'm playing Valorant and stuff, but I'm still
Mhm.
watching other games, and that's why I like
Mhm.
games that have been there a bit longer, because the pro player base and stuff is generally more older and stuff, and you see
Mhm.
how they behave and stuff, or act or play, or how they take care of their health, for example. I
Yeah.
think it's also a good thing to look at, especially for Val players, because I think
Mhm.
we're all like 17, 18 waiting to play the game, or 19, 20, you know.
Mhm.
There's not many 30-year-olds except Blue Boaster and stuff
I mean,
that
Angel made it to
also
35,
has.
bro. Like,
Yeah, exactly. But for me, for example, Angel and Boaster had insane amount of experience, you
Mhm.
know, and they share it always with the players. And I feel like every player I spoke to that played with these two, they always said like really good things,
Mhm.
that they learned a lot, or helped grow. Like, for example, Boaster helped me a lot, but without Boster, let's say if I will go to a team where everyone will be the same age as me and have the same experience, will I be a good influence to them not having the experience? Probably not.
Probably not,
And
bro. Listen.
that's why it's good to look up at these things sometimes, or
Yeah.
just having those. That's why I'm happy, like being in the current team, because like I have Chronicle, who's pretty mature adult and stuff,
Mhm.
who knows everything about everything somehow. I have Yampi. I've been with him in the same school. He's 2 years older than me and stuff,
Mhm.
and you know. how he changed as a person, kind of like it just grew up and became adult.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like noticeable. And I'm sitting there, okay, I have people that are actually like older than me, and it feels like it, and they have experience. Like we both, Jump and Kroger, had a lot of experience in Valorant, good or bad, and that's like a really good thing, and I value that from my teammates. And then we have like Sayonara, who's waiting to turn 18. We can pass that experience on to him and help him kind of like grow, because in my opinion, if he doesn't get kind of like people who he can look up to, or just like have respect for like adults or elders, whatever,
Yeah.
then it is gonna be harder, and it can spiral into, I don't know, thousand different roles. But if you just like help him, then it's easier for him, and I think he will value that in a long run a lot. And that's why, like for example, me playing with Boster, I value that a lot, and a lot of things that I didn't maybe not listen to, but like he said these things, and then those things happen, kind of like maybe outside of my control. Oh, this is what happened. It's hard when somebody tells you, and you like to know exactly what it meant until you experience it, kind of.
It's weird. Which, by the way, you're doing God's work, because everything that I had listed to go through, you're like somehow like magically hitting everything, bro. Where like I was gonna, so just makes my life easier. I wanted to hit a quick note, because like here's what I'm gonna go through with you, was on what you just hit, where I wanted to get your perspective on, like, because you were talking about all the respect you hold for the guys of Vitality on CS, right? And I know you mentioned like
Yeah,
talking to Apex a little bit. And I know you tweeted about him too, where like, these guys that won 4 back-to-back titles, bro. It is incredible the run they're on, right? And the experiences they
yeah.
hold, right? So I wanted to take like what you gained from Apex and that side of Vitality to your own end and growth, and lead that into the roster as it stands today. Because Chronicle mentioned something specific, was that he mentioned that he was like pleasantly surprised when he would talk to you again and reunited with you, where he mentioned how he could see your growth. Like he said how he really saw how the last year forced you to grow up. He said like I
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't speak that much to Apex and stuff. It was mostly to like the Matt,
Right,
assistant coach of CS and stuff.
yeah.
Because I just had problems, and I wanted to talk to him about it and stuff, and just see the perspective. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's a coach with like tremendous experience and stuff, and he could probably like just help with it or guide. And I think it's just good for players to ask within their organizations, or just like with people that have a lot of experience. I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of players with experience would rather want to help, because they don't want to see bad things happen to anybody, even if they're competitors sometimes, Uh, Understanding myself more, how I act, because I'm pretty emotional. I can get really angry, I can get really, I don't know, pissed off and say things maybe I shouldn't say, or whatever. And for me, it was like one thing is like I should not be scared of like getting angry and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can get angry, but I need to also learn how to cool myself down after that, and maybe try not to say really bad things while I'm angry, but just kind of like I can sometimes just you know let it out and stuff, but then calm down somehow and just explain myself better, and then everyone will be happy, or just like explain to people that, oh hey, I'm pissed off right now because of this, and it's fine. I don't think like with this CS and stuff there was that many talks or stuff,
Sure.
or how to get better
Yeah.
or stuff. For me it was like just taking what happened like last year, like
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the best emotional teammate and stuff, and things were going wrong multiple times, especially if it's the same thing that will piss me off sometimes a bit too much.
Yeah.
Will maybe not say it in a good way. And thing I didn't understand is that when you come into a team, I think me and Les both maybe learned this. Like maybe he will share his experience sometime later. But for me, when I'm coming from team like Fnatic, where I grew up with the same players I've played with,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to come into a team where people can like up to you, and like let's say if me and Les come in and people kind of like look up to us and stuff, and you, you don't understand how much these kind of like small things make a difference just because they're coming from you. And I
Yeah.
just learned that sometimes I just need to be also kind of like I'm not 17, 18 anymore playing the
Hmm.
game, so I also need to be role modeling in some things and kind of like just take them a bit slower, calmer and stuff. And kind of like explain so people will actually like take example out of that instead of like raging Derke. Oh my god, maybe I need to act like that too when things are going wrong, you
Yeah.
know. And then it just goes to a point where everyone just becoming full trolls at that point, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, for me now even that's why I like it, because got Crown back who kind of like played a lot, and even though I mean he said to kind of like I grew up in some aspects, but even I told him sometimes like looked at him and I will be like, okay, had this scenario, didn't feel great at that time, or like just from the experience and know how to uh just talk better, because in Fnatic, I feel like I still had that emotional thing of like sometimes don't like it, and I will, instead of kind of like making it work for everybody, I will be like not not kind of like sabotaging everyone, but I will just make it a little bit harder for no reason. Even though later I will say still like, oh yeah, I'm still gonna go with the spawn. Everyone's like, why couldn't you say it earlier? But now I feel like it's easier for me to explain myself why I don't like something, why I like something,
Yeah.
and also it's easier for me to understand if somebody does not like it, or kind of like not counters me, but kind of like uh, brings counterpoints. And even
Hmm.
if I don't agree, I can still be like a civilized adult human being, being like, okay, that's your way, that's my way. Let's find a compromise, or kind of like see which one is better and just go with that way. We don't have to
Hmm.
fight. We see each other's perspective. We can work with both perspectives and
Yeah.
make it work. Easy peasy. Everyone wins. But sometimes when you're a kid, you want to pull the rope a
Yeah.
bit like towards yourself more, and kind of
You make it sound like you went through
fight
marriage
for it.
counseling for like a year with 5 people, and like now you finally, after a year of just shitting on everybody, you were like, okay, guys, I learned compromise. Don't worry, we got
I
this.
mean, kind of, but that's like what in team happens. But like even stressful situations when things are going absolutely wrong in the game, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is happening? It's not even compromise. It's just how to deal with it, what to say to people, or like in
Hmm.
what tone, when to stop things. It's not always compromise how to talk to people. Well, there's
Yeah.
so many minor details in the team that you
Yeah.
just need to take care of, and I don't want to act like I'm most calm guy ever after that year and stuff. I still can get pissed. I can still
Yeah.
have my
You're
moments,
still
and
human.
yeah, I'm still human, and that's just me. But if I'm gonna always close myself out, or be like, oh, I don't want to say these things to not piss people off,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna pop the bottle, and it just
Yeah, just explode. So
everything is out. Yeah.
yeah. So on Fnatic, you were there rage baiting in meetings, but still agreed with them, right? And like,
I mean, sometimes that was the thing, and like I think it's like just I think that's what a lot of young players just might
mhm.
do sometimes.
Yeah, happens
Yeah, it's
sometimes,
fine.
right? We're like,
I
but
mean, sometimes that moment with friends when you're arguing about something and you understood they're right,
yeah,
but you're
you
still
know they're
going with
right,
it. Like,
but you still want to argue.
yeah, 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 exactly.
I know
You
exactly what
know,
you mean, bro. I've been there a lot, man. Um, I had a thought about this. Do you think Kron came to Vitality under similar circumstances or mentality that you did?
what do you mean by that?
Like,
Sorry.
because I know, like you came to Vitality in like very specific circumstances, right? And like, but
Ah,
I was curious if after like kind of linking up with him, talking with him again, do you think that he kind of shared like a similar mental for switching over teams and coming over here for go to Vitality? I know for you it was like a bit different where it wasn't didn't exactly work out, but for Kron switching over, did you see kind of like a similar reasoning as to why he would have wanted to switch teams and coming over to join you guys, where he could have what he described as a fresh start in a sense?
I mean, fresh start is always like really good, especially after a long stint somewhere.
Yeah,
I think for him, like fresh start is a good thing because one, you get to know different people, and you can actually bring that experience from the other teams.
yeah,
While in other teams, if it's like uh, chronically wrong from the start and stuff, it
yeah,
can become um, a bit harder to fix those issues. But when you come into a fresh team with fresh start,
yeah,
it's kind of like easier to already with that experience to navigate through that at the start, so it doesn't go wrong again.
yeah.
And I think with the players we have, just makes sense because our team looks insane on paper, in my opinion. I don't think it's worse than last year. I even think it's like a lot better.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people don't know about like Profik or Sayonara and stuff, or a lot of people
No, dude,
don't really like Yampi
Sayonara is
Agile, even
insane.
though he's insane.
This kid is
Yeah,
crap.
exactly.
Yeah.
But exactly. And coming into this team, I think again, I don't think he expects like amazing results from the star super team and whatever. I don't think any
Hmm.
in our team even wants to hear super team because that's not really how you build things.
Hmm.
It's more like how do we make these things work with experience? How do we navigate these? How we talk to each other? We
Hmm.
have like amazing coaching staff now with like Pal, Scott, and
Hmm.
SLK.
Yeah.
Like you know, I've worked with SLK now almost 4 years and stuff, which
Wow.
is
Yeah.
insane. Like even before Fnatic SLK, was like
Hmm.
uh, head coach
Yeah.
in like Crowd when I played. So even he can see some of what things went wrong. He was with us last year and stuff. He was in Fnatic 2023, and now with this like coaching staff, even though he's not like a head coach, he can still share that experience with the coaches too,
Yeah.
and knows how to handle these things.
Hmm.
I respect him a lot also because a lot of times I can do really stupid shit, and
Yeah.
he will kind of call me out or talk to me and explain it. And most of the times I will understand him and agree with him.
Hmm.
So for me, he also plays like I figure that kind of like he's seen me now for he knows me now for almost more than 5 years and kind of like
Hmm.
sees the growth and stuff, and he can also just sometimes tell me, hey, you're not in crowd anymore, you're not 17 anymore, you're now Derke, you played 5 years in VCT, you're almost 23 years old,
Yeah, bro.
stop acting like a kid, shut the fuck up, sit down, play the game. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're
Yes,
all right,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It sometimes helps, and he also knows about the game a lot. Can build like a lot
Hmm.
of the theory, and for me, it helps a lot. And
Yeah.
I feel like right now, like this rare time when I have kind of like I had before, like Minion as a kid, it was like a great coaching stuff.
Mm.
Then and now when I have like Pal, Scott, and SOK who like can
Hmm.
like know how to share things, responsibilities between each other and help each other and can like bring that to the team. It's insane to work with,
Hmm.
and it helps me a lot because I feel a lot calmer in a way where like uh, I have full trust with the amount of coaches we have, with the amount of experience they have,
Yeah.
and it's nice because the reasonings are always good, and I can always have good conversations with them, whether like I like it or not, or kind of
Hmm.
like actually get on the same page. Because sometimes I like to them, I'm asking questions, even though I'm like, I agree with you guys. It's just
But I
I don't.
still want to press the issue. Yeah.
No. I don't agree. No. It's like different. I agree, but I don't understand what they
Okay.
mean really.
Yeah.
And then I keep asking them, what is it really in like
Hmm.
small details, and it helps me a lot when they like explain me by detail
Hmm.
what to do with these things. And then I'm like, okay, I sit down, I play the game. I don't have to think as much anymore because it's like covered, and I could ask these details. And with the players we have, like um, Chronicle now and Yumpy, because with Chronicle I had experience, so it's like I don't have to get used to him as much, you know. Still does the same thing. Still really chill guy.
Yeah.
With Yumpy, for me, the most interesting thing was like he's Finnish. We've been in the same school. We've talked to each other for a lot, and this is the first
Which
time
is
we get to
so
play in the same
crazy, by
team.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like really motivated to play with him, and it's really fun. He's like insanely nice teammate and insanely nice IHL, or like even a leader, the
Yeah.
kind of like leadership qualities he
Yeah.
has and how vocal he is. Just nice. And Profek was like the one person I haven't spoken to ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Sayonara, even though he's a kid and spoken to multiple times, played rank with Profit, not really. But I came in and I clicked with him instantly, and like super chill guy, no, like really professional, knows what to do. And for me, it's like really easy because I feel like even though we're young, we kind of like grew up, and everyone had their moments last
Mm-hmm.
year and stuff. Like, yeah,
Yeah, which is
it's
crazy. And then,
nice to hang out.
yeah, and this Sayonara, we already mentioned, right? Just like insanely talented kid, right? Just like,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for people to like get to know him. Like it's like I feel about Sayonara how I feel about there's an initiator on Team Liquid Academy, who I can't remember his name, but I think it's like SGG, some like 3 letters.
GSR.
GSR, yeah, that kid. Like that kid is cracked. Like I am excited for the day he gets to play in the EMEA. He's going to be incredible, right? But like, I feel the same about Sayonara, where it's like just like insanely cracked kid, right? And like I'm excited to see what he can like get to improve, right? Spence, which
Yeah.
speaking of proving yourself, right? We had Blender, first look, new roster, right? Bunch of games, weird format, no pistols, like. Tough start, interesting end, bro. Like, and I imagine this was like what, like the first time you guys really played together. You guys have like a month of prac and you hop right in, yeah.
Yeah, we practiced. We went through kind of like the just fundamentals side of things
Mm-hmm.
during practice. It's not like we can actually practice the game. It's a lot of information to the brain to the point where you get exhausted.
Yeah.
We had a boot camp, not really a boot camp in Paris, but like we went to Paris for a media day, and then we went to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
um a house in the mountains in France is like full snow, and then
Yeah.
hanged out there without PCs for a couple days. And
It seemed really
funnily
cool.
enough,
Yeah.
we got all super sick, and then we have to come into Berlin and play in like 2-3 days,
Yeah.
like already the Project Blender, which was hard because I was so sick and it was so hard for me to recover, even in some games that like at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, the practice was for me really horrendous because I could not breathe properly. Like every time I breathe, it just feels awkward. And yeah, playing through that was not
Fun. Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But then like for the first matches of Project Blender, like it started getting a lot easier. You know, to play the game. You kind of start getting into that mode, into kind of like oh, here's how you play the game, because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
play the game for almost 2 weeks then because of like certain things, uh, and also it was insane to me because I just had the surgery back then, so for me everything went quick.
Yeah.
Like this off season, I did a lot of things, like even trying to start driving school in Germany, in Berlin, and start
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, pushing through the lessons, and then now I need to do theory exam before I go to Finland. It's like really hard and a lot of things, and yeah.
That's
Project
crazy.
Blender, we go in Eternal Fire, we lose like 11-13 on Abyss.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, uh, with the showing we had, it was like a bit sad to lose to them because, of course, they're not like in VST and stuff, but they
Mm-hmm.
still played really well, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
They
and
did.
stuff. And it's not like we got dominated with a score we should be ashamed of and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then next matches we started picking it up more and kind of like playing a lot better. in my opinion, like even Galatasaray and KC games, like it really showed kind of like what potential of a team we could have, even with like
Yeah.
the weird formats we played.
Mm.
Like it was a bit hard with the formats because I couldn't get used to it as much in practice, and then whatever happens with picks and bans, you might need to adapt on the fly and stuff. Then yeah, in players we lost the Eternal Fire again, and it's like, in my opinion, again, like a bit sad, but also I feel like at that moment, even though we wanted to win, I felt like
Mm-hmm.
they wanted it more. They played maybe longer as a team, and they
Yeah.
did really well. And like important thing, people don't understand. Like they switched the player mid tournament and stuff, and they still destroyed everybody almost, and you know,
Yeah.
still did good in finals. So in my opinion, it was a good team to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they have more experience than us in one team or less, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They won us, so on paper, congrats to them. They still shared nice messages to me, kind of like after the game and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, GG, respect to them. And we just moved on, knowing that okay, we still have a lot to work on. We
Yeah.
know what our potential are. We kind of still won against really good teams that were proud of winning and stuff. And and it was like, exciting to play together like a tournament for the first time. Because in practice it's one thing, because we practiced a lot.
Yeah.
In practice is like one thing of playing, but in tournament you kind of actually see the colors of how players behave. Maybe they get a bit scared in some things. Maybe they, I don't know, lose fear of dying
Mm-hmm.
somehow and do stupid stuff like me and stuff. Um, and you kind of learn really how to play with each other and these things. And then from learning to that, practice is going to become easier and just like you look forward to officials. So I was still happy with that tournament, even though like we didn't win by our expectations, but
Yeah, it was cool.
it's whatever. That's life.
Yeah, I mean, did you? So then, compared to last year, then right? It's like, did you guys find that you played the same in practice that you did, not only on stage, but I guess in a actual match, right?
I mean, last year it was always different. Like
Yeah.
it depended on the day. Like even with the last iteration of our roster last year, it's like it felt like we could win good teams, but we could also lose against bad teams. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And about last year, like there's so many problems that's like I just want to forget it in terms of like I don't want to point fingers at anybody. I don't want to
Yeah.
think
Sure.
what happened last year. For me, the most important thing about last year was like, okay, here's what I've done bad. Here's what I could improve on. Here's
Mm-hmm.
maybe good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I need to improve on that because I'm not playing with the same teammates anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what does it matter if I point a finger at somebody and say, oh, we lost because of this guy,
I agree.
or we did this bad? I think everyone should learn that way, and I'm not gonna pretend that I was a saint too. I wasn't. I feel like everybody in the game will hate to play with me last year, but it's whatever. I can
Yeah.
learn from that, and
Yeah, it's a tough year. That's fair, right?
yeah.
Tough year for everybody, which is valid, right? Because like, I mean, because I more so wanted to think about it because I know how you pointed out how previously things were kind of like back and forth, right? But I wanted to kind of look at specifically focus on this year, right? Where like because like you said, how there's been like small amounts of time to play, but clearly it seems like things are progressing at a pretty good rate for this team, right? Especially even though you guys are sick, right? Which was tough to kind of come into a game like that. And I remember they were somebody else was mentioning this, right? But for off-season tournaments like this, it really is just about who wants it more. Like, I find that happens a lot. It's like especially if a team has something more to prove, right? It's like they just seem hungrier, right? And you even said, right? Eternal Fire on the
Yeah.
certain day just wanted it more, like, which is valid.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will be more happy if Eternal Fire won that fall tournament because I do think tier two, like this whole tier two is not even real. Like they still practice against tier one or whatever more than tier one practices against tier one, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because uh, when you actually start a competition, a lot of people don't understand from like outside of the bubble. They don't understand that tier one teams during the season, sometimes don't want to practice against the other tier 1 teams that they can play against during that season, especially if you're on the same bracket or in the same group or whatever,
Yeah.
or playing against that group. You don't usually want that. Some teams do want, some people don't. And then, it becomes that a lot of tier 1 teams have to practice against tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the gap, in my opinion, is so small sometimes that there's not really a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I'm in VCL, I'm in VCT, we can play the same, we can win against each other. Some teams in VCL would destroy teams in the VCT, like last year and stuff, and that's just something you have to live with. It's a bit annoying because, and that's why I wanted to kind of like Eternal Fire to win, because yeah, even though we lost to them and stuff, it doesn't really prove that we're bad. It also proves that they're really good. And I think it will be still, and it is still like really good for everybody that they kind of like show the good results. Because if it will be a tournament where tier 2, tier 3 can play against tier 1, and tier 1 will absolutely stomp everybody, nobody will take like tier 2 against serious, and that's like the problem with it. And I think the more events we have like this, uh, where we get like VCL playing as VCT, I think people will understand that the difference is not that really big. And again, like I said previously, there's so many slots. Like as a duelist, I have max 12 slots in my league, and that's like not that many people. You will put 12 people in the same room, you will think, that's like half of the room, or maybe not even filled at all. It's like small amount. And imagine how many players there are in VCL. In Europe, we have like what? We have the Turkish league, Italian league, Eastern European, Nordic, Spanish. There's like so many players, so many teams. It's like, of course, they all want that. And of course, some teams are going to be worse, some are going to be a lot better. But there's not many slots, really. Like if you want to play at the top.
Exactly like you said, right? Because there's just like no matter what, with only 12 teams in the league, right? There's probably some Turkish kid who's ready to just come in and take your spot, right? And I think it was I was talking to Benji about it, where like I think there's like a decent percentage of almost like 30% or 40% of EMEA is now just Turkish players, which is crazy to think about, by the way. But that's a side note, right? It's if you're not constantly aiming to be the best at every single moment, right? There's 1,000 people that will want your spot, right? And I think about that a lot with like my own position in casting stuff too, right? Where it's like and I find it applies to like jobs like ours so often, where it's like it's a very privileged position that we get to live in, especially with the life we lead, and which is why so many people, because there's kind of lower barriers to entry, are so hungry to get it, because the life where that we can lead at the very echelon is incredible. Because like think about it, like it's like you get to travel around the world, play video games, chill with your friends, eat insane food, and just have a good time. Sure, competition, grinding, playing ranked, so on and so forth, extremely hard, very very mentally taxing. But the positives I find are so incredible, right? Which is why I like so coveted, which is why everybody should continue to strive to like be as incredible as possible, right? As a kind of wind down this stuff, right, where you kind of explained a lot as to why you believe in the team, right? There is one thing I want to look at specifically, is that like going into this year, right, it's like people once again have kind of put your team on a pedestal, right? It's which I think is valid, again, to be fair, because like you said, you guys have incredible players, an insane team. And I think going into the year, right, people look at you as serious contenders. I know you don't necessarily think about the pressure necessarily, but does it kind of sit at the back of your mind again, think like, it's like, I know like doesn't really matter what happens, but there will naturally be a bit more eyes on you once again going into the year, especially with the incredible players that you have, the incredible players that you guys have.
I mean, I like playing with pressure. I don't know what the other boys. Sometimes that just feeling of when you get into a game and you have kind of like some sort of feeling in the chest kind of helps me to play and kind of feel alive.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I go into a match and I don't feel anything and I don't care about anything, it's way harder to play for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not maybe pressure, but like excitement. So having pressure also brings me that excitement to play. I think us having a lot of people that believe in us or can like push us into pedestal, a lot of teams are looking to beat us to say, oh, they're not that good, or we beat Vitality, lol, we're the best.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like a lot have that, and it's like as a player, I think I don't know what the other boys, but for me, it's like I don't really care about that. I don't care what's
Yeah.
going on in my team, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, the only thing I'm certain about is like we really don't work around like what other people think. Like we know what our potential are if we're working towards it, and like
Mm-hmm.
uh, with the amount of times we come like say like, oh, let's meet up this time, and we come like 10-20 minutes earlier and kind of
Mm-hmm.
like do these things, and we're really excited to work together. In my opinion, just shows like that we really want it, and the way we practice things. Sometimes like the practice day is not going that good. We're getting stumped, and we're not really, you know, it doesn't really hit us that much mentally or whatever. We can still do great things, and we
Mm-hmm.
know like once the season starts, the only thing that matters is like whether you win or whether you lose. It doesn't really matter. So with pressure, I don't think people care that much. Again, we have three experienced players. We have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
like experienced coaches. Uh, can work towards it. Like the only person who's not really experienced is Sayonara, and like he has fire in his eyes and he wants to play. It's just sad he has to sit down for kickoff and maybe Santiago, but like he still wants to play and compete, and I don't think it will affect him. Maybe it will for one match, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
have like a little shake of like, oh my god, and then it stops forever,
Yeah.
for him. I don't know, but like we will see that, we will learn that, but I don't like. In my opinion, we have the good roster and we have
Mm-hmm.
uh, everything that like every player wanted
Yeah.
to have in this roster. That is like just up to us if we work hard enough. I don't think this pressure or whatever people think about us is going to make any difference, because it's like we will not have that amount of pressure if people uh, didn't get what they wanted to get. That's the thing.
Yeah. Uh, are you guys still scrimming with Sayonara consistently, or are you kind of switching out between the two?
I mean, right now we're on a break, so I
Yeah,
think
yeah, but
like
naturally,
before the break we screamed sayonara. So about the new player, can't say.
yeah.
I'll be honest, don't even know.
Oh, fair
That's
enough.
like
Damn.
you guys know as much as I do, so like
Okay, all right. Okay. Fair enough, man. I like that. Like when I talked to Kron, like there was like half the roster wasn't even revealed, and like not with you, it's like just the one final guy we're waiting on. But but that's valid, right? And final note on the team. What is the ceiling for this team then? Since you brought it up, where do you see that? Like,
honestly, can be whatever. For me, I'm always kind of like wanting to do things or having memories I'm proud of, and for me, it's like winning an event globally will be
mhm.
nice, but I've
Yeah,
done that. I want two. Oh, I've done that too.
you've done
So,
two. So
I want three. I said that last year too, and I'm not gonna be like um, throwing tantrums. Like if we will lose one or stuff. Of course,
mhm.
I always want to win, and for me, the important thing is like if we just put work in, I feel like anything can happen, and we just have to see if the team against us just did better work than
Yeah.
us or not. If it turns out we worked the best and we had the best results,
Mhm.
we can win everything. Like that is the ceiling. And I know it's a bit PR answer to be like, oh, if you're working out, but it's like
Yeah.
potential of that. A lot of teams, I'll be honest, even if they work hard as they can, they maybe just can't even go to one event. And just the reality, like sometimes it just
And
happens,
name those
sadly.
teams right now, Derke. Say which teams are shit. I thought you were going for a second. I was like,
No.
I gave you. Nah,
No,
don't worry.
no, no.
Yeah, I know. I'm playing.
I don't want, because if something goes wrong, it's again what I said before at the start.
Yeah.
The
Comes
comments
right
are
back.
going.
Yeah. No. I'm
Yeah,
playing.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be insane.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I agree. Look, so ceiling 3 trophies, but naturally, like we're hoping to get to globals, do well, and do our thing, right? And I agree. I'm excited for this roster personally because last year, I found BBL were like were like my dark horse team, coming into the season personally, and then because I was excited to actually see
You
Yumpy.
like BBL, yeah?
Hey, brother, it's hard to resist, man. It's there's just so. I'm not gonna go further. I'm not gonna say it. That's crazy, bro.
It's
Just
fine.
call me
Not
out.
many people like the bees.
It's just,
It's fine.
I love me a good BBL, man. But especially with all the BBL guys like Yampy with his Yampy leading the BBLs, bro. It's great, man. I'm excited for him,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I'm excited to see what he does again, especially after a year of experience as well too. Now, for some just quick fun shit that I wanted to get from you, who are some of your favorite players that you've ever gotten to play with in your career? This is kind of tough because you played on like 2 teams. You can name like 3 players. You can name 2. You can name 1 player and move on.
Everyone from Fnatic 2021 roster,
Mm-hmm.
because it was first ever event in Valorant, and we got there and we got to the finals, and just that fall run was insane. And even like a champs, it felt kind of like special. And for me, like I just turned 18 and I had
You had
hair
Yeah.
and glasses. It was insane. I couldn't even grow a beard back then. And then 23 roster, of course, because we won 2 events, and just being in that atmosphere was just really good. Everyone felt like friends to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I also in Vitality, I liked Kicks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like really a lot, because I don't know, every time something was going tough, I just look at him and he smiles at me, and it just made my day so many times when I'm mad about something that and he always kind of like whatever you ask him on the soda and stuff, he'll kind of deliver. I think it's a bit sad that in a situation we were in last year and stuff, when we were losing, maybe his stats are not that great while we were losing. Maybe like his stocks might have been down maybe a lot, or not that much. But playing with him was fun. And I feel like it was weird because it's the first time I'm playing with an Estonian. And the thing is, I don't know if you know, but like Finland and Estonia is like close with languages and stuff, and we shared so many like different words, and felt like culture is similar. That I kind of like that kind of like bond that hey, we're neighbors, and
we're
stuff.
basically the same.
It was just, it was just fun hanging around.
Dude, that's
but
cool.
yeah, those and now getting to play with Chronicle is also hard because also connection. We're both Russian. Well, breaking news.
Exactly. Wow. Shock da хорошо,
Yeah. It feels really nice to be reunited with him again, and just have that feeling again that hey, I don't know. For me, it gives back the feelings of off season, like before 2023, where it felt like, oh, we can win shit now, and then now also just Yumpy, because even though I haven't played with him like almost any officials, like only Project Blender, but with him I'm really happy, because the whole school storyline bullshit aside, he's Finnish, I'm from Finland and stuff, speak the same language. I haven't spoken Finnish in so many years that I almost forgot it completely. And just having him and talking in Finnish helps me a lot. And just gives me that feeling of home again.
Oh.
Because I can't say that with Chronic that much, but just having that vibes that if I look to my right, I can speak Russian. If I look to my left, I can speak Finnish.
Yeah.
Helps me a lot. Helps with the languages, and helps a lot. And he's like a really positive guy, and I feel like me and him had the same kind of like experience of even having the same food in school.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like we had different,
Yeah,
and
because you guys probably had the same. Was it?
yeah,
I think it's called Trip Juice. Trip something. Trip.
trippy juice,
Trippy
yeah,
Juice.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, but like kind of like the food in general, and with Yampi also the thing is like even though we were in all the same schools, which is a bit weird because like okay, the first two schools was like okay,
Yeah.
same city, but the third school was like we live in Vantaa.
Mm-hmm.
The last one, the college over there, was in Helsinki.
Yeah. Like a
So
whole
it's
city
like,
away. Yeah.
yeah, a full city away, and we were
Yeah.
in the same one too. So it kind of felt funny. And then we competed against each other in CS:GO for like a couple years too. Like played against each other in summer finals, lost to each other, won against each other, and stuff. And just having that experience to play against each other feels kind of surreal. Like to play with each other, yeah, it feels kind of surreal because it's like you know him for so long, but didn't get to play, and now you kind of have that, and you kind of want to also perform just for the sake of it, and just
Yeah.
have fun with that,
Which is so crazy as well too. It's like because it's like how like in League of Legends there's this storyline between like Faker, right? And then Deft, who were playing
Yeah.
on who were in the same school but like kind of like 1 year apart, and they finally met in World Finals, right? But then now it's different because you guys are on the same team. It's
Yeah.
so sick. All right.
Worst teammates, Profek, because he's probably watching this, and I know, because with the favorite players that I didn't mention him, he will be probably asking me, you didn't even mention me, so I'm gonna put him in the most hate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Profits on pack watch, bro. All right. I love that. Shout out Profit, man. Okay.
I mean, he's insane. He's funny.
No, he's great. Yeah, great dude. Okay. Build your perfect team. You can just say 23 Fnatic again if you want to.
I don't know. I'll put for the vibes because we really love the vibes. Oh no, I forgot with the favorite players.
What?
This is Cloud is
Cloud.
Cloud is also like really favorite because I used to play with him,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. So like with every team I played, if I could probably bring the Russian team I played with, like the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know, for me it was like first team in Valorant, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and like proper team in Valorant. So it was like the XLG's coach,
Yeah.
SLK as a coach, then Cloud and two more players that stopped playing Valorant.
Mm-hmm.
If I could play Island with them, I would because I think it will be good vibes. And yeah, it was just like always fun to play. And even when I shared them the news that I'm leaving to go to Fnatic, they were all super supportive and stuff. And like I always wanted to play with Cloud at some point. It just maybe down the future maybe won't happen, but like I'm really happy that I got to play with him when he was also immature kid like me sometimes, and it was just funny to share that. But yeah, like that team also like I remember, and it was always fun. I had a pocket breach in my team. It was giga fun.
Dude, we gotta see you bring out the pocket breach again, bro. If they ever buff that guy, because initiators suck dick now. But you gotta see you bring that out. And finally, who are going to be the best teams going into next year around the world, aside from Vitality?
This is hard because I don't even know what half of the teams like really built outside of EVA.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for MIBR because it looks interesting.
Looks
I will
interesting.
say.
Yeah, because Kron was not excited because Kron said that they looked weird. Essentially, they were like he wasn't sure whether they're going to work out or not.
And that's what's interesting for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they're going to be bad or good. I just want to see what's going to happen because it can be really good or it can be not bad with like maybe mid
Yeah.
and stuff. Cause yeah, I think it will be just exciting
Mm-hmm.
because rarely you get that kind of a site where kind of like duelists join each other
Mm-hmm.
and some kind of like teams coming up that people wanted to leave their orgs or teams for to come into one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really excited because
Yeah.
it kind of gives me MIBR vibes from CS at one point. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? Those know, and I just want to see what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah.
Then we'll want to play against G2 again
Yeah.
because last year I played and in my opinion, good structured team.
I
I think
mean,
it would
yeah.
be
I
fun.
mean, now they got Baby Bay, so instead of Jonah, which is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like Baby Bear a lot too.
Yeah.
So
Good
for me,
dude.
it's like, yeah, good dude. Always like super positive, fun to
Mm-hmm.
talk to, and for me, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
In EMEA, probably will be fun to play against Fnatic because of this whole Fnatic against Fnatic Academy bullshit
Yeah.
that people are making up to. It's like, okay, bro. You guys are very creative at that. I'll give it to you for that. But
I mean, you could say heretics maybe if you want to, right? Or we could also move on to Pacific where it's like T1 look good, Paper X look good, right?
but I want to play against Paper Rex too. I haven't
Yeah.
played them in a long time too.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like fun watching them play in Toronto because I
Yeah.
was like, thank God I don't have to play against this fucking plus W style again. I can just watch it from home.
True.
Lol XD. So
I mean, it
that's going to
sucks.
be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
And yeah, I mean, for me, it's hard again because I haven't followed really what a lot
that's
of
okay.
regions did.
Yeah.
I usually focus just on EMEA, but even in EMEA, there was so many crazy stuff. Like, even Liquid is looking very different now. And I'm like,
Very
kind
different.
of excited. Kind of like, I don't know, BBL is going to be also a
Like,
fun
yeah.
side because yeah, they came basically from Ascension and
Mm-hmm.
they're looking good in my opinion. You just need to see like how they're gonna perform. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be exciting year. I think also really like the locations of the tournaments, so want to go to every single one of them. The only place I haven't, no, the two places I haven't been to Chile. No, yeah, only one place I haven't been to
Yeah.
is Santiago.
Santiago.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll want to go there, see what's gonna
Mm.
happen. If we get to go there, I don't want to say we will, and then people say later, "Oh, you
Yo,
lost," but you
yo,
said
be
this.
confident, bro. Come on, man. You believe in this team, dog.
I know, but we also play with outside. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
that's also true. Yeah, that's, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
I mean,
point.
I
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah,
still
yeah.
because I haven't. Wait, I've been to South America, Brazil. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's whole different vibes, right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Fair enough.
I mean, for me, I like going to different places,
Yeah.
experience it. Because London, I've been to many times. Because
Mhm.
Fnatic stuff, other
Yeah.
stuff,
EU.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like EU, like that will be really nice to win because we'll be basically kind of like, uh, can you
Yeah.
call it home? So
Yeah, like home
even
crowd. Yeah.
it's not your home crowd, yeah. If you go in there, it will be like amazing vibes because
Mm-hmm.
two places I won was like one on
Like Sao Paulo,
uh,
Brazil. Yeah.
Sao Paulo. I was playing against the favorites and
Yep.
stuff. Not many people were cheering for us. To be fair, that experience felt still amazing because
It's a
it's
silent
kind of like
crowd. It's crazy. Yeah. Dude.
I mean, not silent, bro. They were
but
loud. Like
oh, but like, but like, but
they
like,
were.
yeah. Like,
Bro, if they win a map and you take your in-ears off,
oh yeah.
your ears are gonna blow up. Like that's what the vibes are,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that kind of pressure and stuff. So it was kind of like fun to play and win
Mm-hmm.
there. Like, of course,
Yeah.
every player who won against somebody's home crowd
Yeah.
kind of say that the vibes are
Insane. Yeah.
different. But then I mean,
So
Tokyo people were cheering for us
yeah.
in Fnatic, but
Mm-hmm.
still, it's not Europe, and you want to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Europe. We don't have many events in Europe, so
Yeah.
gonna be cool. For me, also really important. The one place I like was Shanghai. Like that fall Masters
Mm.
and the city was insane.
That looks so cool.
Uh, yeah, and for me, it's like I don't know why. Me going to like the Asian global tournaments like Bangkok, Tokyo, China, we had Korea. It's always vibes are so different compared to Europe, for example, or even America. Vibes are so different. And one thing I like is that each country you go to in Asia feels different, in
So
my
crazy.
opinion.
Yeah.
Korea and Japan felt different. Shanghai felt different. Bangkok is like way different, and for me, it's kind of like that's why I kind of also like it because I feel like a lot of places in Europe will feel the same, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like when I'm watching these random events in Europe, I'm always thinking, oh, it's not that different. Like even Copenhagen Masters, I remember I went to, I was like, oh, it feels like
It's like
almost
home.
like
Yeah.
Finland,
Yeah.
just a Nordic country. Lol, haha. Yeah, everything is kind of the same.
Yeah.
But when you go to like places you haven't lived, even like going to LA for the first time in my life, I was like, okay, this is different, and it's kind of like what you will see in the movies, and it's kind of just cool to explore.
True.
That's why I like being like a pro player, because when you get to go to events, it's actually places
Sick.
you will remember like for the rest of your life, and you get like the travel experience, you play, and you're having fun. And then especially for me, like the places you win in kind of like mean more to you, or even where you just had a great tournament and great vibes.
Yeah, I agree. And finally, message out there to people who've been following you for years, who are a fan of Vitality, and want to continue to cheer on their bald goat.
Thank you to everyone who supports me and Vitality. Yeah, a lot of people watching and supporting. I'm not used to it. I'm just a 23-year-old bald kid. I mean, not 23 yet, but for some reason saying 23 already. But who cares? Yeah, so I'm really happy and excited for the next year as much as you guys are. So um, let's win some trophies. Really excited. Let's go and have fun because I've not been in two tournaments. Been sitting pretty bored at home. So when I go there, stomp some noobs, win some trophies, shit on your favorite player, and I'm not gonna say who it is because everyone has different favorite players, and now I'm gonna get DMs from everybody in the world because I shit on their favorite player. That's it.
That's what we like to hear, Derke. That confidence and that drive is why we appreciate and love watching you, brother. This was incredible. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it. I will catch you soon, okay? Take care, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace.
See